Hi friends, my name is Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my favorite fictional couples from some of my favorite books. And I realized that a video like this could possibly be a little spoilery. It might kind of give you an end game for some couples, and you might be curious, are you going to spoil a book I haven't read for me? And so I'm going to tell you the books first and foremost that I will be discussing couples from. That way you can decide if you want to keep watching the video, if there's certain parts that you want to zoom past or whatnot, so that you can be prepared and I won't spoil you. So the first book I'm going to be talking about couples from is The Blue Castle by Ellen Montgomery. The second one is the Anne of Green Gables series, also by Ellen Montgomery. The third one is Persuasion by Jane Austen. And the next one is Sense and Sensibility, also by Jane Austen. The next one is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And the next one is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Then I have a whole slew of Cassandra Clare novels, the Mortal Instruments series, Infernal Devices series, the Dark Artifices series, and the Lost Hours series. If all that sounds good to you and you would like to continue, then stay with me. All right, so the first fictional couple is from The Blue Castle, and this is Valentine and Barney. Valentine has had a very just drab life, and she has broken away from this drab existence, and she becomes friends with Barney, and they become, entangled together in this friends to lover situation. I think initially she's really pretty in love with Barney, and I don't think he is that interested in her. And then some point things flip. And I just absolutely adore their relationship. I enjoy the coziness of them in their home together when they get married. And there's just something about them that just is such a comfort read to me. So if you love comfort romance, I think you will enjoy Valentine and Barney from The Blue Castle. The next couple, Anne and Gilbert from Anne of Green Gables series. Oh my gosh, Gilbert is my first and probably my only fictional crush. I watched the movie when I was really young, the 1980s version with Megan Follows, and I think his name was Jonathan Crombie. I don't think he's with us any longer, but man, just their chemistry. I love them so much. And then I read the book series and I'm like, he's just as wonderful, if not more so in the books than he was in the movies. I love how it is almost kind of an enemies to lover situation, although Gilbert's always loved her. She was pretty antagonistic towards him in the beginning, but I think she realizes over time that he is who she wants to grow old with. She has such a fairy taleized idea of love, and then she realized that really you want to be married to your best friend. So I love them. The next is Anne Elliot and Frederick Wentworth from Persuasion. Persuasion is my favorite Jane Austen, and I just love, you don't have this couple together for most of the book, but you're just rooting for them to get together. And he is just such an upstanding guy, and she's such a sensible girl and really unselfish in a lot of ways, and she's been persuaded to not be with him in her younger years. And I think they just are so well suited for each other and are meant to be together. The next is another Jane Austen book, Sense and Sensibility, and my couple from this book that I just always shipped is Eleanor and Edward. Eleanor is just, she fell in love with him, but she knows that he was priorly engaged to someone else. And the series of events, he is so cutely awkward and she is so, family oriented, and you just want them to be able to be happy and not to pay for their youth or their family. And they do end up finally together, and it is just such a satisfying thing. So the next book, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I love Gothic fiction like this, and Jane is such a morally beautiful character. Jane and Mr. Rochester just you really feel that they are just so passionately romantic together. Jane is, like I said, very high morals. I don't think he is quite good enough for her, but you want him to be. And I just love them together. Next is the unnamed protagonist and Max from Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. We never learn the name of the unnamed protagonist. Rebecca, of course, is Max's dead wife. And I love in the beginning where they have just this kind of passionate, quick romance, and he whisks her away and she has such high hopes, and then they get to his house and things go downhill, but you're still always rooting for them, and they eventually get together. Things aren't good, but they are together at least, and it makes me so happy in the end. The next books are all Cassandra Clare books, so therefore Cassandra Clare couples. There's something about her that she can write teen romance where I'm just wanting the couples together, even if there is some slightly toxic elements, which makes me feel a little bit strange. It's like, okay, I don't know exactly why I really ship these couples so as much as I do, but I really do. And for any Cassandra Clare book, even though it's intended for teens, I really feel these are much more intended for people who are actually adults. I think it's more suited for adults, even though they're teen romances. What I like is, since they are intended for a young adult audience, there is no smut, but I still get my, pining for them to be together feel. So the first series was Mortal Instruments series, and this is Jason Clary. They are shadow hunters. Clary doesn't know, and he ends up rescuing her and kind of saving her life, but she is strong, and she finds that she's stronger as they go on. There's a little mishap where they think they might be related at first, and you're just going, no, this can't be true. And as you're knowing that this is forbidden, you're just wanting it to not be true more and more and more so that they can end up together. Now, the Mortal Instruments is probably my least favorite series about Cassandra Clare because it is written a little bit younger than her other books. My favorite series is the Infernal Devices series, and this is about a young lady who ends up being in England, and she gets saved by Will Herondale. And even though she gets saved, she is a strong woman in her own right. So even though sometimes the men do the saving, these women are very strong as well. In this series, we have Will Herondale, who has been cursed, and so he's been told that if someone loves him, that he cannot be with them or they will die. And so he is terrified of Tessa loving him, and his vulnerability makes her love him even more. He is a little bit dark, but he's funny, and she is sweet and bookish, and it's just the perfect couple. But yet he has a parabatai, his basically spiritual warrior person named Jem, who is also in love with Tessa, and Tessa doesn't know about Will's curse, and so she kind of is in love with both of them. And Jim becomes a silent brother because he's dying. Silent brothers are immortal, but they can't have human relations. Well, that means that Tessa and Will get to be together. Tessa is immortal, Will is not. And eventually she gets to be with Jim too. This is the only love triangle that I love. I love all of Cassandra Clare's books. She puts love triangles in there everywhere. I don't really like the other love triangles, but this love triangle is life to me. All right, the next one is the Dark Artifices series, and this is about Julian and Emma. And Julian and Emma have been growing up together. This is one of those stories where I love the friend to lovers trope, but I especially love it when they've known each other their whole lives. And they became parabatai, so these spiritual warriors, as children. And parabatai are actually forbidden to be in love, but they fall in love anyway, so it's a forbidden love situation. The thing that's kind of toxic about this one is Julian feels like he wants to die without Emma, and I think part of that is the parabatai bond that they have. It's such a strong bond, but they have to overcome the situation of being bound as parabatai but being in love. So there's something about it. Again, I don't know how Cassandra Clare does it. So the last Cassandra Clare book I'm going to mention is the Last Hours series. I am reading the last book right now, so I don't know what happens with this romance that I'm shipping so much. And this is James and Cordelia. And again, if you don't want to be spoiled, go away. But in the first couple of books, they end up having to have an engagement. James thinks he's in love with someone else because of a spell that's been put on them, but he's really in love with Cordelia. Cordelia is beautiful, redheaded Persian, and James is just like this serious, dark character. And there's just something about them together that is beautiful. And by the way, they're the children of characters from the Infernal Devices. So I am in the middle of the last book, Chain of Thorns, and the Last Hour series, and I don't know if they're going to end up together, but they better. Cassandra Clare, let me tell you, they better. Well, thanks for watching this video today. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you read a lot, and let me know what your favorite fictional couples are in the comments. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.